Like, do you see me? Do you see, like, hey, I'm black, sir. I can't be allergic to chicken. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Gorgeous and Gluten Free. I'm Shayla. So I told y'all a little bit in my first video about kind of what was going on and why I started everything, but I really feel like I need to give y'all the full scoop. So if you want to hear, keep watching. And this story is crazy because it really starts in Miami. And Miami is supposed to be a place where sun is shining down on you, hair blowing in the wind, and you showing off your summer body. But for me, it didn't quite go that way. So it all kind of started from our second, I think this was like our second day there. And again, like I said, folks, remember, I love to eat. So our first day there, we decided to go to the beach. And I was hungry. So the time that we went down to Miami, there was actually like street vendors. There was an art vendor or an art festival that was going on at the same time. So the first thing I saw, I'm smelling food. So I decided to go up to, I think it was like a Cuban type of food truck, basically. And I got, I think, like an empanada, some type of chicken, rice. And in my mind, still at that time, like, I'm thinking that that would be something that's okay for me. But as you will find out later, it turned out that it wasn't. So anywho, I'm enjoying the day. We're at the beach, I'm eating, we're just having a good time. So here I am thinking like nothing is really wrong. And at that time, I really didn't feel like anything was wrong. So later on that night, we decided to go out to a really, really nice restaurant and have a nice dinner. I think it was called like Ocean Prime is where we end up going. So we end up having a really good time. But again, I couldn't really help myself because I'm seeing all of this different food. I tried to order something very light because I think, you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I was having some type of reaction a little bit even before I sat down to eat. So I was trying to just find something light or something that I thought would be good for me anyway. But when I sat down, let me tell y'all, they had some like cheese biscuits or something. Whatever it was good. So I had a little bit of that. I think I had chicken and some other type of like vegetable and something like that. But then at the very end, everybody decides, oh, hey, y'all, well, let's split this cookie. And it had ice cream and all this stuff. And I'm like, I know I'm allergic to ice cream, but I'm like, I'm just going to have me just a little taste. Just a little taste. Can I get a little taste? So I take it and I get a little bit of taste. Y'all, it didn't even take probably in the next 2 hours, I was feeling all kind of crazy. My skin started itching like crazy. All of this stuff, I could just feel everything I'm getting plugged up. So I'm like, okay, let me just take a Benadryl. Because usually when things like that happen, I just take a Benadryl. So we get back to the room. I take my Benadryl and I lay down. I kind of wake up maybe like 30 minutes later and I'm like, I am still not feeling right. So I take another Benadryl. And so I'm like, okay, these two Benadryls got to do something. Y'all, the only thing they did was knock me out. So I get back up the next morning. I didn't even recognize myself. My eyes had swollen up like crazy. My whole face was puffy. I wish I could find a video for y'all because I was looking so crazy. So I'm just like, what is this? Like, I pretty much tried to stick with the stuff that I could eat. I know I had a little bit of ice cream. Okay. I know I had a little bit of the cheese biscuit and I'm not supposed to have cheese, but I'm just like, what is this? I should not have this type of reaction from this little bitty stuff that I just ate. So fast forward, I come home and I'm still kind of like having issues. And at this time, mind y'all, I did not know that I could not have gluten at this time. So I didn't know that. So one of the things that I started to do was like, I'm booking doctor's appointments left and right. Because I told you I was not feeling good. And I had to do something. So one of the appointments that I booked was with the allergist. And I had an allergy test before, but I'm like, maybe something has changed. Something has got to change because I've never had this reaction before. So I get to the doctor's office the day of the test, and they're kind of explaining to me what's going to happen, how they're going to do the test, that it's really not shots now, but it's just like a little pinch. So I'm like, okay, look, I'm grown, this ain't going to be nothing. So they start the test, and at first I'm like, okay, this isn't so bad. So they do one side of your shoulder that it's not gonna, they know you're not gonna have a reaction to, that it's gonna just be like the test that they know, or the placebo that's not gonna have a reaction. And then they do one that they know whatever this is, everybody's gonna react to it anyway. So they do that, and they start going, and I'm like, okay, this isn't that bad. But they start getting to my lower back, y'all, and they like, it's like a pinching like thing, and I'm like, what is this? Hold up a minute. So they keep going down, and I'm like, I'm starting to feel stuff. So it probably wasn't even 1 minute, and they tested me for, I already knew I was allergic to fish, but I kind of did want to see if that was still a problem. So I had them do the fish test, like whitefish. They really didn't do peanuts because and stuff like that. I knew that I was allergic to that. But they did a lot of different vegetables, fruits, meats, all different kinds of stuff. So the test probably only took like 2 minutes for them to put all the different samples of things to see if I was going to have a reaction. But in that time, I'm laying on the thing because you have to lay flat, and they're just kind of like pinching your back. So I'm laying flat, and all of a sudden, like, I feel like my whole back is on fire. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, is this how this is supposed to work? Is this how this is supposed to be? Because this is not feeling right. So the doctor comes in, and in my head, I'm looking at him like, okay, look, hurry up and tell me what you see so we can get me to doing something different, because this is too much. And so he come in, the first thing that the doctor says is, wow, man. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, wow, man, what you mean? Like, I'm over here itching. This is a problem. Can you help me? Like, is something about to come out my back? What? Wow, man, what's going on? So he's steadily looking at my back, and he's like, wow, you just have a lot of allergies. And I'm like I said, I always knew I did, but just not to the extent that it was now. So he's looking at everything, and he eventually, after everything, he marks everything, and he comes back to me like, I'll be back to you in about 2 minutes. You get dressed, and I could tell you the results of your test. So he comes back in, and we're sitting down, and he's trying to go over all the results of my test. But I'm sitting here, like I said, y'all, I am on fire. Like, my whole back is so itchy. Like, I'm just ready to take off all of my skin because I'm feeling crazy. So he's trying to explain it, and he's telling me all of this stuff. And one of the things that he said was, oh, and you're allergic to chicken. I said, hold on. Wait a minute, Doc. Wait a minute. What you mean I'm allergic to chicken? Like, do you see me? Do you see, like, hey, I'm black, sir. I can't be allergic to chicken. And so he proceeds to tell me that, and I'm like, no, that just can't be right, because I've been eating chicken all of my life. So something, you got that test messed up. We will have to redo that test on a whole nother day, just the chicken alone, because that's not right. So, y'all, I'm just baffled. So not only did he try to tell me I was allergic to chicken, but he went through and said all of the things, and I'm just going to show y'all this sheet. And y'all probably can't see it, but this is the sheet that they give you when you get your test results, and it just tells you, like, everything that you're allergic to. So I'm just going to go through some of them. The things that I have a reaction to.
Peas, soybeans, but wheat, barley, rye, codfish. They put tuna on me, too, but that was one thing I just wanted to check and make sure I was allergic. Egg whites, cow's milk.
And a lot of fruits came up, too, but he was just saying pretty much for that, like, there's a thing that basically if you have that fruit, then it just makes your tongue and like your mouth itch or whatever. So he was saying basically not to worry about that. But beyond all of that, y'all, my biggest concern was that chicken. I'm like, no, that gotta be something. That gotta be something different. So once he saw my reaction, he was like, well, you know, we'll just start off with you starting with no gluten and making sure you're staying away from eggs and fish, and all of that stuff was easy because I already stayed away from that. But then to also find out that I was really couldn't have soy too much. I drank soy milk all of my life because again I knew that I was allergic to milk, so I always drank soy milk. So I'm like, okay, I'll try to pretty much stay away from that. But leaving there, I mean, and before I left, oh yeah, I forgot about this part. Before I left, um, they end up having to give me a Benadryl because I told you I was on fire. And then, like, even after one Benadryl, I'm still sitting up here. My tongue started itching, all of this stuff, and I'm like, what is going on? So he's like, just wait here. We're going to give you some more Benadryl. So they give me some more Benadryl, and I started to feel better. Of course, you feel sleepy because as soon as you take a Benadryl, you're gonna feel tired. But so beyond the chicken, I'm just like in my head. Even the nurse was like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna lose so much weight because you can't really have anything." And I'm just thinking the whole time. I'm kind of like, okay, where's everybody's bedside manners? Because I'm going through something here. Y'all just told me that I cannot have chicken, so that's like, no, that can't be true. I'm not, Jesus, I'm not accepting that. So I leave there and I just really kind of felt just defeated. Like, I already have all of these allergies. Now y'all telling me I'm allergic to more stuff and chicken. So I'm just like, no. And the other thing that he told me too is because I had so many reactions that some of those could have been false positives. So y'all, look, I'm not even gonna lie about it. I still eat chicken here and there. I try to like not eat as much chicken, but I still eat chicken because I can't stop eating chicken. Can you? Look, comment down below if you think you can stop eating chicken, because I know I can't. And I don't want to. So it's just some things, although we have restrictions, look, we still got to find a way to figure out what it is we can have, what it is we can do. So from that point, y'all, I really just was trying to, that's what was like my turning point. I really just tried to figure out what I could still have, what I could do to make things better and healthier for me, and be something that I could eat. So because that chicken thing, that was just a no-no. That was just a no-no. So I feel like I just had to come on here and tell y'all that little story because that's where it started, and that's really what triggered everything. A simple trip to Miami where I thought, look, hey y'all, I'm about to be gorgeous and gluten free, and baby, listen, Miami had a whole nother thing planned for me. So y'all, thanks again for stopping by and watching this video. Please make sure you thumbs up the video, that you like, you share, and you subscribe. And I'll see y'all next time. And make sure you keep living and sprinkle it with a little glam. Bye, y'all.